It's impossible to trace the origins of Tongji Gong. The myths surrounding Kung Fu are many. But it is often held that an Indian Buddhist called Dharma, a devout and zealous monk who came to Shaolin to preach Buddhism 1400 years ago, found that his fellow monks lacked the physical strength to bear the long hours of Zen meditation. He set about creating Tongji Gong based on Indian yoga to promote the monks' physical strength. Another legend says that 700 years ago, a Shaolin Buddhist chief invited the country's best fighters to Shaolin to exchange their ideas about martial arts. Here, they created Tongji Gong, which incorporates the advantages of every style of Shaolin Kung Fu. Shaolin Kung Fu demands both spiritual and mental as well as physical training. Tongji Gong best shows this concept. Tongji Gong is divided into basic and advanced levels. Basic Tongji Gong focuses on mobility, especially various forms of rolling and leaping. It requires great flexibility of tendons and joints, which is why 5 to 6-year-old boys are at the best age to practice this skill. These 2 9-year-old boys, who have practiced basic Tongji Gong for 4 years, have made the most fragile parts of their bodies become deadly weapons. Those who have mastered basic Tongji Gong may move on to advanced Tongji Gong when they are older. This 18-year-old student has practiced advanced Tongji Gong for 6 years and demonstrates the extremes of flexibility capable by the human body. Learning advanced Tongji Gong is similar to learning Qigong. Actions are soft but powerful, stretching human joints to the limits of endurance. A master of advanced Tongji Gong can bend his limbs to seemingly impossible angles. A normal person can bend his foot back no more than 90 degrees, keeping his knee straight. A Tongji Gong master can bend his foot back through 180 degrees. So how does this extraordinary flexibility help with Kung Fu? According to Master Shi Henjun, to become a Shaolin Kung Fu master, Tongji Gong is vital. It makes the joints extremely pliable, which in turn enables perfect posture and enormous power. What's more, it ensures that those qualities can last a lifetime.
不练童子功，从半路上18、19岁开始练这个功法，然后你到了一定的年龄，比方说到50岁、60岁，你本身的武功慢慢的就退化了。练童子功，它退化不下去。
But why should a Buddhist monk wish to practice Kung Fu in the first place? Legend says that during the Wei and Qin dynasties, 1,500 years ago, Emperor Zhao Wen, who was a fervent believer in Buddhism, built a residential monastery for Master Bao Tuo, who came from India. Since the monastery was situated in the woods at the foot of Shaoxi Mountain, it was named Shaolin, as Lin in Chinese means woods. But the monastery was in a remote mountain area, and its inhabitants were prone to attack by wild animals and bandits. As a result, the monks began to practice kung fu for self-defense, and the farming tools they used in day-to-day life became their weapons. There was little training equipment in the mountains, and so techniques were developed that utilized what basic items they had. From the humblest of beginnings emerged a simple but arduous long-term training regime that influences the practice of kung fu even today. Throughout its more than 2,000 years development and history, kung fu has no shortcut to becoming a master. Only endless practice, extreme effort, and total devotion can fully harness the power of kung fu. Literally, in ancient Chinese, the term kung fu means one with an unerring devotion. The reward of becoming a master is reserved only for the elite of the elite. The first thing to learn in kung fu, and the most important fundamental stance, is jia ma, the back stance. As a basis for strong attacks and to avoid falling at the opponent's attack, the first requirement is to be able to stand firm. A kung fu practitioner must continue jia ma exercises throughout his life, at least 2 hours every day. Slapping water develops mental toughness. And by choosing freezing cold days to slap the water, the student learns to resist the cold. Willpower is more important than physical condition, reflecting the central aim of kung fu, to train both one's mental and physical power. Liaozhang is a way to strengthen delicate human fingers. The many nerves in the fingers make them extremely sensitive to pain and therefore weak. What seems like a gentle pursuit of pushing one's hands into dried beans after only a short time becomes almost unbearably painful. For the kung fu devotee, it is a pain that must be borne regularly and for up to an hour at a time until the fingers are strengthened and the pain is controlled. Hitting a candle flame from a distance is an exercise that promotes the explosive power of a punch. The rush of air driven by the fist blows the candle out, but only if every ounce of strength is placed into the strike. When the candle is out, it is relit and the exercise repeated. Repetitive training is the fundamental methodology behind Kung Fu. Repeat, repeat, and repeat again until your action is second nature.
要通过自己的刻苦努力锻炼呢，因为少林拳是学无止境的。少林拳就像是佛教里边的大藏经，任何一个人一生的经历，他是学不完的。
More than 300 styles of Shaolin Kung Fu are practiced today. They can be divided into weapons use, combat techniques, and Qigong. The sword is regarded as the king of all weapons. The dao or scimitar was invented after the sword. The most famous method being the Shaolin traditional dao technique. In ancient times, scimitars were designed for close fighting, where each combatant was in great danger. An old Chinese fight saying goes,